Do
All
you
right.
hear it?
I don't hear it, but we are live, and I want to welcome everybody to the Bread and Hope Show. What's going on, people? I'm trying to get to the whatchamacallit. Hope I can't utilize. I'm able to here we go. There we go. I can hear it now.
No, okay.
I can hear it now. All right, bet. Good deal. Awesome. So I want to welcome everybody to the Bread and Hope Show. What's going on, Hope?
Oh man, FIFA. That's what's going on.
Yes, sir. We gonna talk about it. Because it's not here all the time. Not, and plus, this is the what do they call it? The dead night of sports usually. So yeah, let's go. All right. Oh, the, the set my photo on so people can actually see me. All right. Good deal. Hover, how was the weekend, man?
Yeah, weekend was good, man. I actually had a chance to go down to Macon this weekend.
What?
Yeah, yeah. My dad,
Okay.
um, my dad had a barbecue at the pool.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So
Y'all,
yeah,
y'all, 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 y'all went swimming laps.
yeah, man. Yeah, swam a few laps. Yeah, it was pretty good weekend. Good
That's
weekend.
what's good. That's what's good, man. That's what's good. Wait, how long you stayed down? More than one day or just one day?
Just one day.
Oh, okay. I'm about
Went
to ask if
down
you.
and yeah, went Saturday and came back Sunday morning.
Okay, okay, bet. Yeah, so you just barbecued and everything. So you obviously you didn't go to the. I was about to ask you if you went to the spot.
Nah, I didn't get a chance to check out the spot.
Yeah, man. So that I think I'm hooked on that Piedmont Brewery down in Macon, downtown Macon. So
That's a good spot to be hooked on.
I want to take B to the Rookery because she's never been there. It's a thing, the Rookery. But we can't make it because the service and the food is so good at Piedmont Brewery. So if anybody's down in Macon, Georgia, that Piedmont Brewery on I think it's Third Street, Hobo,
Yeah,
uh, check it out. Good service, good food, good people.
yeah, man. That's definitely the spot, no doubt about that. And interesting, like you said. I mean, the beer is good and the food.
The beer and the food is
Um,
good, man. My gosh, man. I ate myself into a food. 'Cause we always bring back food. we always bring back food from that. I'm like, well, I want to try to bring back other food from other places. Then I always want to bring back a new way. That's another thing in Macon, Georgia, is new way wieners. The legendary hot dog joint. They got a couple of them around town, so B don't like them, but or can't eat that stuff. But I do. I mean, I don't eat it all the time, but chili dog or a dog with relish, mustard, ketchup, keep it simple. Love it. Love
yeah,
it.
man.
I've had Nathan's. Nathan's is pretty good, and some other hot dog stands that people are aware of, but it's not new way.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah. Piedmont Brewery, man. Yeah, they got it going on though. It's definitely once you go, you hook, man. They
Yeah,
food. I
I'm hooked,
think.
man.
I mean, not only like you said, you think about the beer, but shoot, man. I tell you what, the food is something else though.
That's where I go is for the food. Now I thought it was the beer. I go there.
Yeah,
We go there for the food because it's
man. I
man.
I totally understand why. Yeah, I mean,
Jeez, man, we got a fried something.
hey, did you get the brisket sandwich? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I got the no, I got the fried brisket. Is what I got. I got the
No,
fried
you got the
brisket,
fried brisket. Yeah, yeah.
fried biscuit, and the fried brisket, and rice and gravy, and
Hmm.
collard greens.
Yeah, and the
Jesus,
collard
man.
green. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a yeah. That's a yeah.
Man, even the
Yeah,
green beans are good, man. I look. We can talk all day about
they
this, but
about
I
that.
just
Yeah,
want to. I just want to let the listeners know that about Macon, Georgia. We got a lot going on down in the home back in the home place, man. So just wanted to give them a quick shout out, man. So one thing the listeners for joining the show. Bread and the Hover Show, we're here every Wednesday night from 9:05 p.m. to roughly around 10 p.m. And we are based in Atlanta, Georgia. And we talk about sports primarily in the state of Georgia. But whatever is hot, we're going to hit it on this show. And wherever you are from, feel free to be part of the show or put something on our Facebook group page, Bread and Hover Show group. It's important to put the group behind that and let us know what's on your mind and what's going on. Hover,
yeah.
what you got?
Want to give some quick shout outs to the Dirty Bird Nation, NFC South fans, Falcons First and 10, the Enhanced Sports Show, Lou in the house,
Lou.
Mo Brown Sticking Sensation, and Atlanta Old School Drummers.
Yes, sir. And so let's get on with it, man. A rapper's retirement, man. So we hear that Ti is retiring, man. Everybody knows who Ti is. Famous rapper from Atlanta, Georgia. Been doing this thing for a long time. And so he's retiring. At least he announced his retirement. And it's interesting. I bring it up because you know people with day-to-day jobs, normal, day-to-day jobs, I would just say outside of entertainment, you know what retirement means for us, man. We've been doing it for a little while, and so, we just kind of, stop doing what we're doing or do something else or nothing else, or help
Hmm.
out or whatever, so, but it's interesting because what does that mean for an entertainer? And I noticed that a lot of entertainers are kind of making their announcement about retiring. Usually people would just stop making music, or just stop making movies or shows and they just disappear. But now you get entertainers and performers and actors and everybody that's actually just, mentioning, making a statement, say, hey, I'm giving it up. I'm not doing
Yeah.
it anymore, man. So what does that actually mean, in terms of, what does it mean for a Ti? And I would just think that, maybe touring or something like that. Maybe he doesn't tour anymore. And I don't know, maybe he didn't go to the studio, he didn't make any more albums, that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. What say you, man?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. I think it's just not putting out any more, you know, no more records, or, he's not making any more, yeah, albums, rap
Yeah.
albums, I mean, he has a library of work that,
Yeah.
yeah, he can go and maybe do, do some shows in Vegas or whatever the case. Kind of like what Jay Z doing, I don't know
Hmm.
now. Jay Z, on the other hand, sound like he's saying he coming out with another album. I don't know how true that is.
That's what I heard too.
But right now he just, rapping, just the old school stuff. But
Hmm.
um, yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, I get it. Um, you can only rap so long, and then it's
Yep.
just like it's time to close that chapter and do something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I kind of agree, man. I'm like, well, y- you know, um, you do something else, and you keep it moving. And I thought that they may make some appearances and all that kind of thing, but I think that no more records, no more studio stuff. If you see anything from them, if you see anything, then that it'll probably be a greatest hits remastered or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more studio time, no more tours, none of that.
Yeah.
So
It's just the same as if, I mean, I just use you as an
hmm
example.
hmm
You did your thing in your work arena, industry area,
yeah,
for many, many years.
yeah,
And, it was came to a point in time that, hey, you know, time to retire from it, and
yeah,
put my mind or skills or whatever you want to do next,
mhm,
let that come into play. So you know, it just that is even same thing with me, man. I, I got the clock is ticking for me. I've been doing
Like
IT.
ticking.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I've been doing IT for many years.
Yeah, man.
Grinding, still grinding. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I'm no, that like I said, with the clock going, I'm ready to, you know, go ahead and when I can go ahead and shut it down and then just expand myself into something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it happens to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought it was interesting because I think that Denzel said that, he was winding down and he was retiring, but, for actors to make a mistake, sometimes actors just stop making movies. They don't make an announcement that they're retiring. It's like, well, I'm not accepting any more scripts, at least not publicly. But I know we're just in a different age and time, man, and where things are just done differently. So I get it. Hip, man. I'm hip with it, man. And just one final note about that is I think that the rap game and the entertainment game is, especially when you make trending music. I think I think it has a shelf life in my opinion. Because music is successful for one reason because you do it while you're young and your ear is close to the street in terms of what's hip and what's happening. And as you grow, your fans grow with you. But as you grow, there's always somebody new. It's kind of like sports. It's all sports is a young man's game. And I think that Dre from Outkast said it best when he talked about like, look, man, it's like rapping is a young man's game. I ain't out there grinding doing that kind of same stuff that I was doing when I first got into the business. So what am I gonna rap about? If I'm from the streets, I'm rapping about what I know. So over time things have changed. So I'm living a different lifestyle now. So I ain't, what does it look like with T.I. still rapping about, paper bag? You know,
Yeah,
the
man. I
packages
mean,
and street hustle,
yeah,
all that kind
hustling,
of
all
stuff.
that kind of stuff. Yeah,
You
yeah,
ain't hustling
exactly.
no more. You ain't
He's
got
not
to do
hustling.
it.
Yeah, he's not hustling anymore. He's in a different chapter in his life.
Right.
So yeah, I get it. Um, I think that happens with every, with all, like I said, happen with all of us. And then whatever
Yeah.
you do. So, but yeah, in this particular case with Ti, yeah, man, I just feel like he's ready to spread his wings into
Hmm.
something a little bit more, put more time, whatever he may be already doing it now,
Yep. Yep.
and close that. But like I said, it's not to say he won't get out maybe on the stage and spit a few bars of like I said, he has a library of work
Yep.
that he can always go back to and spit it out. Kind of like
Yeah.
like Motown, like Smokey.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, they have a library of all kind of music for that even for that time. But even
Yeah.
it's endured there. It has endured through so many generations. You know, you can still get out there and sing. Tears of a Clown and all that. But
Yeah. 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 You got a
you know,
catalog.
that catalog rather. So, but
Hmm.
at the same, but Smokey, I think he. I'm just using smoking as an example. I think he tried to reinvent himself a little bit to try to get hip with the times.
Yep.
But some people, some people bought it, some people didn't. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
I think he get that, and he just stick to his catalog of work. You
Yep.
know,
You do,
it
do what you do best.
yeah. I mean, people, they still come out and see him, and
Yep.
those, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm going with
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Definitely.
think I don't think I think even for him, he's probably retired from the game. But I think more or
Hmm.
less he just doing. Yeah, I look at it like this, Bray. He could be doing it because hey, he still got bills and things that need to
Hmm.
get done, and that's the only
Yeah.
that's the way to make a living. Even though he's not doing it, he's not grinding as hard as he
Yeah. Right. Different.
as he
Different
did, but
pace.
it's just a different, it's just in a different place.
Yep.
So it could be just in that, or it could be hell. He just doing it just to stay active, and he loves to loves to perform.
Hmm. Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep. Make sense to me. I think. I think Janet Jackson's kind of. I don't know. I think Janet's coming out. I'm about to see wind down, but Janet Jackson, I think is about to come out with a new album. And we just
hmm
saw her in Vegas like last year. So she had a show in Vegas. A lot of actors, a lot of performers established. I would just say well established entertainers are doing shows in Vegas. It's not just what was this Wayne Newton. It's not just it's not just Wayne Newton. I definitely know Duncan Shane and out there. So 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 now you know artists like Usher, Bruno Mars, all these guys are well established actors. I mean, well established entertainers are doing shows because it's a lot easier for the people to come to you when you to still keep grinding and doing these tour, 'cause tours are a grind. That's where a lot of money is made, but it's a big grind, and you really got to be tight in terms of your shows, preparing for your shows, and the people who work for you and around you. So you won't have to worry about that as much when you're in Vegas, cause it's just a package. You have residency at a place for a few months. I think
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige is out there now, and it's just a lot easier for you to just stay in that spot. You in condition to do the show after show after show after show, but you're in one spot. You don't have to grind and hit a plane or hit a tour bus like back in the day. So I get it. To retire from that stuff, man, is I get it. I get it 100%. So I wish T.I. the best of luck. One of my favorite rap artists of all time. He's in my top 10. One of my favorite top tens of all time in terms of rappers. I like it. So, but look, man, let's flip it to soccer, man. Um, you've been enjoying this FIFA World Cup so far, home, or it's just been kind of meh for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been very enjoyable. I think um when you look at the teams that are left in the tournament, you got the best of the best,
Best of the
and
best.
yeah, and
So,
but yeah, I think it's been very enjoyable to watch.
cool. So, quick question, man. So, how were you introduced to the game of soccer? So, when you was like, it's like the first thing is like, when and how were you introduced? And then when was it when you're like, okay, I kind of like this?
Well, I think, as a kid, I think I've always was curious about the sport, to say the least.
Hmm.
When I was a kid, even when I played pee wee football, there was a
Hmm.
soccer, somebody was playing soccer on the other side of the field.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
but I was in my household, American football was what was on TV, and
Hmm.
that's what my dad, you know, watched. So
Yeah.
so I watched what he watched. But
Right.
as far as but that was a curiosity. I always there with soccer, but like I said again in my household, but at a young age, I was introduced to it. But it didn't get no play on the TV
Yeah. Yeah.
when,
Yeah.
when I was young. But I will say this though. But once Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, got a soccer team,
Hmm.
I really put it drew my interest to really watch the sport and see how things go,
Hmm.
um, and get more. How can I put it? Get more in tune with the sport, understanding the sport, you could say.
Hmm.
So that's I think at that point in time, Brad. Yeah, Atlanta United definitely played a big part for me. Really being more fascinated with the
Yeah.
sport, and then also too, I of course the women I've dated in my life
But of
that
course.
that definitely changed the narrative too. So to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to get me even more involved in it, I have no other choice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is.
so yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Like.
So those are the those are the angles for me as far as really. But as far as your question, yeah, that's how I've always been
Yeah.
curious about it as an early age.
Yeah, man. I as a kid, I mean, I saw it on television, and I was just really enamored by it. I mean, in terms of Pele.
Yeah.
And I was just fixated. What is this game, soccer? What is this? And then you'd always see him on television. It's 60 Minutes at the time had a special on him, and I was like,
But you know,
and I was,
speaking of
yeah.
Pele, not to interrupt you, but even
Go ahead.
like I said, I didn't watch it, but of
Hmm.
course we had video games, right? You had Atari
Yep.
game where
Yep.
at that time Pele had a video game. I actually
Pele had it back
we
then.
actually
Yep.
it was a soccer. We actually had the game, and of course
Hmm.
it was just some sticks and
Yeah. I mean, but yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
Right.
but 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 we my brother and I we would play the game. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
would play it,
Hmm.
and that's the only way we were as far as um, introduced or killing our curiosity
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
playing the video game,
Yep.
especially with Pele, because
Yep.
he was average because he was a commercial. Pele was a
He
hey,
was. He was super.
I don't
Yeah.
know
He
if you
was.
remember,
Yep. Yep.
he was talking and playing, he was a
Hmm.
brother, so like okay,
Right. Exactly. That kind of brought us in.
yeah, so
And so
I thought it was pretty cool.
yeah. Right. Right. And so you're right. I mean, Pele just meant a lot to the game, a lot to us in the States, to see somebody, that looked like us play the game. And so, but when I was in the sixth grade at Green Street, that was when I did a lot of sports. You know how it is in Macon, man. Everybody
Yeah,
did something in Macon. Mostly everybody played football, but everybody did something, played football, baseball, whatever. So sixth grade, first time, PE teacher, I'm gonna teach y'all the game. I'm gonna teach y'all soccer. Oh, we just kicking the ball, da 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 da. Ain't nobody, so PE teacher's like, no, 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 it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna teach you guys. So she gave us some basic rules. We had the playground and we had pylons. And so you just had pylons. She said, keep it low. You can't, if you kick the ball over his head, it's no good. We just kept it simple. So you got to keep it below his head. And so the thing about it, we played simple game. We learned some rules, some simple techniques, and some things like that. And next thing you know, we fell in love with the game of soccer because she introduced it. I forgot our PE teacher's name, but she introduced it to us and kept it really, really simple. And we wanted to play it on our own. And so between that, basketball and foot, we just squeezed that in with football and we started playing it. And so, and we had I mean, look, man, we just, we had a ball playing it. So, but since then, I mean, it was hard to keep it going because unless you have somebody in the community or in the school that's around kids, that's like giving you those options to say, hey, let's play soccer again, let's do it again, and blah blah blah. Then you're going to get lost to the other opportunities that are there. And so at the time, it got lost, with football and everything else that was going on. So, but yeah, for me, it was Green Street Elementary School over there on Walnut Street, Pleasant Hill. So that's when I first played it. Played it a couple times after that, and I don't think we played it again. I don't even think we played it in high school. But I think my interest again came back was like 1994, 96 with the soccer team because there was a lot of publicity back then. And I think it was in the States one of those years, and then with '96 team, Alexia Lawless, and then the 2020 team, and all that kind of stuff. And so it gets a lot of hype, and you don't know how good or where we stand, but you're gonna watch and tune into it anyway. So that's when I started watching World Cups, and I've been watching World Cups ever since like '94, '96. And so World Cups come around, I'm up there watching. But I really didn't grasp hold of it until around about 2000. And so in terms of okay, let me find out who's who in these other countries, what's going on in other places other than the US. What's the dealio? Where does the US stand? why we not good? Why we not winning? We should be winning this game. Why are we not? But that was before I really kind of understood the whole scope in terms of that the US is kind of like the Wisconsin in football. Soccer.
yeah.
you
You
know?
bring up a good point though, but that kind of moves into the next segment about
Yep,
the
yep.
U.S. men team. I mean,
Yes,
can
yes.
soccer be improved? Is it possible? U.S. soccer, it's
Hmm.
possible, but I think we talked a little bit about this last week. I
Hmm.
know I touched on some topics about
Hmm.
NIL and things of that nature, but I think the main thing Um, can't. I mean, it's not going to be able to. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It's not going to be
Mm.
able to be at the level of competing with football and basketball. It's no way.
No, 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 no. I mean,
They,
culturally, it's
it's
virtually
because
impossible.
of the culture of the United States of how
Too much
what
money,
it's too much money that's invested
too
in
much money
America
and resources.
into the American football and basketball. Only way, on that scale, only way the dynamic culturally would have to change. And what I mean by that is, and we talked about it last week, like Friday Night Lights. Remember, I even said started with, high school.
Hmm.
As you know, when American football come around, Corky Kell, I mean,
Yep,
all those things start getting the press. I mean,
yep.
big press, and um, soccer just doesn't. I mean, if soccer was getting that type of attention,
Hmm.
starting at that level in the high school level,
Yeah,
it's Friday Night Lights. You guys, you showing you not just featuring football or let's just say football, American football. You're featuring
yep.
soccer too, but that's not the case. So what I'm saying, it has to be a big
Hmm.
dynamic culture shift, um, for soccer to compete at that level.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I, yeah, yep. I agree, man. I mean, culturally, it's got to be a dynamic shift culturally, and for me, I don't even think it's got to be number one or number two, because I think right now where it is, I mean, yeah, everybody felt a certain way in terms of how the U.S. lost against Belgium. But if you take a couple steps back and look at this thing not from ground level or even 500 feet, but if you look at this thing from 30,000 feet up in terms of where we've been and kind of where we are, I think the game has grown a
Hmm.
lot. And I think the U.S. team is competitive. And a lot of people, right after we lost that game 4-0, which I mean, yeah, it was bad, but a lot of people, oh, US sucks. We we suck at soccer. No, we don't suck at soccer. We're not the best at it, but I don't think the US sucks at it. I think the US is decent. I mean, you top 20, you number 16, 15, 16 in the world ain't nothing to sniff at. So you're gonna you're not elite by any stretch of the imagination, but you don't suck either. So you're going to beat a lot of teams. You're going to beat a lot of teams that are still struggling. Where soccer is their number one. You go like Honduras. Honduras, that's all they got in soccer. Now, depending on what year it is, they may or may not qualify. But you go up against the U.S. soccer team. I mean, we did lose with the friendlies, but back in the day, we lost a friendly. But we'll beat the Honduras. We're better than the Honduras. We will beat them. We are better than them. And so my thing, we're better than a lot of soccer teams in the worldwide. We just are. And so I tell people, we want to be elite. We want to be where where England is, which I think, yeah, that would be great because England, they like rugby. I think rugby's like one or two in England, right up there with soccer. They love rugby. And so they're losing a lot of athletes to rugby. They got rugby leagues, and so they have an issue. So I'm like, man, yeah, we can get to where England is one day. Hopefully, kind of athletes took them a while. Depends on how we do it and how we grow it. Or you could, but my thing is this, and when I hear a lot of players talk, I pay attention to what they say, and a lot of them, what's really in common, they have in common, all of them have a love for the game, like football. People who play pro football, shoot, man, you gotta love that, man. I mean, yeah, you making the money or whatever, but shoot, you gotta love that because you gotta do 2 days. It be hot outside, especially in Georgia. It be hot
Yeah.
outside, man. You
Yeah.
you, you gotta get in the water breaks. You gotta hit them weights every day. You gotta get up at 5 in the morning. You won't get home till late at night. You still got other stuff you gotta do. So football is a grind. You got big dudes hitting you every day. You taking the hits. You're like, man, do I really want to do this? So you gotta love this thing. People have a lot of passion. They love the sport. The guy from Argentina today, not Messi, but I forget the guy's name. He's like, look, I remember the first day my dad gave me a first pair of soccer shoes I had, first pair of football shoes. And I'll never forget that. And I loved the game ever since he gave me a pair of shoes to play. And I've been playing ever since. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Not just some academy or some kind of program that you want to have to kind of build. Yeah, academies and programs are important and systems are important, but you got to have the right kind of kids who not only have a passion for the game, but kids that actually have raw talent and skill in the game. That goes right along with it. So I think that culturally you can have that. And I don't think that, I don't know if we ever get elite, but I do think that, if we keep going the way we're going, make it a little bit better, drawing a little bit more interest, get a little bit more like they're doing now, get a little bit more athletes in the game that you normally don't have. I think this team gets better, man. You have nowhere to go but up. And I think they do. I think people, Landon Donovan and all these other guys, Maligan and Pulisic, I think all these guys have a passion for the game. I think they do. They're just not as talented.
Yeah, yeah,
They have passion. They're just
yeah,
not as talented.
yeah.
So we got to work on trying to get the talent and you know and it's just pay for play, Hova. It's an expensive sport to play, and and the kids that keep going and survive, look, man, by the time you 7 to 8 years old, you got to know whether you in it or not. Ain't no half and half by the time you 7 to 8 years old. And so that way they can get you the training, but the training costs money, and if you want real competition, you got to get in the league. That costs money. Coaches want money. Little equipment. I mean, all of this scholarships and things that are around there, but it's not marketed. It ain't like I don't see it in my neighborhood or any neighborhoods around in DeKalb County where a lot of football kids, a lot of football programs, and where they are. You see signs every year about youth football league. I see that all the time. Youth
Yeah.
football league. The signs you see for youth football league, you see in other communities saying youth soccer league.
Well,
That's
but
that's that's the
that's what I'm saying, Brad. I mean, that's the point. The culture, it has to be a culture shift. I mean,
hmm
and the thing about it's easy to play to get the kids together and play. All you need is a ball and a net. You go out and kick the
hmm
ball. For a sport, the sport
Yep.
itself. But what we talked about on the show last week related to the youth. We talked about the bang for the buck. And
hmm
so, and I,
Yeah.
when you got someone in high school, they're, an athlete, they probably can play both sports. But, if you're not going to get the best athlete, of course, you may possibly could be lucky, but,
hmm
but at the end of the day, if a guy says, well, hell, I can play defensive end, get NIL money, versus playing a midfielder or whatever position within soccer, even a goalkeeper,
hmm
and could be very good at it. But
hmm
you start looking at the NIL money. Where's the money? But you realize, okay, the
hmm
money's over here in American football, not here. That may,
hmm
it
Well,
changes everything, right?
well,
So
well, yeah,
that's why I throw it up the NIL thing. Like, and it didn't used
yeah,
to be at one point that wasn't the case, but
right.
it's definitely the
Well,
case now. So
and the thing about it is, I don't even want them looking at football. So that's how soccer works. And so you catch them as kids. Maybe they play too, but if I see somebody, I want them since a little when they 4, 5, 6 years old. I got the interest level. I'm in DeKalb County. I got DeKalb County, Fulton County. I got these kids that know them. I got the little kids. I got the parents. Like, look, I can get them in this cat. I can get scholarships. I can pay for it. And so when they get old enough, either if they're good enough, I can sponsor them. If not, then I can sell their rights to a team overseas, and they still get paid.
yeah,
And
no,
so,
yeah, I
and
agree
so,
with you. Yeah, you don't want them
yeah.
even. I agree with that.
And so I want them when they're young. And so that's all the kid knows is he just plays soccer. and we've been paying for the scholarships. And so now you got a different dynamic of where I'm catching more kids in the net when they're younger, and I'm not giving them or some of them a chance to even think about it. They're gonna see football, they might whatever, but I done got them already. So how many of those kids can I get to where it's like, hey, I actually like kicking the ball and I love the game, and so about it, if they really love the game, then they're committed to it. And so they'll be like, hey, I can get the money from Premier League if I make, because by the time it's kind of similar to pro baseball, because by the time you 17, 18, you on your way to whatever league you going to in soccer. You in whatever you ain't going to college. If you going to college and playing, that means you wasn't good enough. That's how it goes. If you are playing soccer in college, anywhere in college, that means you wasn't good enough. And then
I,
you got to go through the system still. But if you good enough, and you by the time you 17, 18, you hit the Premier League, La Liga, you hitting
no, no,
the African League somewhere.
you're absolutely right. I mean, they start. I mean, what's the guy that played Spain?
Yamil.
Yamil. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he just turned 19. So you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that it is definitely in that sport. Um, you start at a young
Mm-hmm.
age, no doubt about
Yep.
that.
Yep.
If you're gonna make something out of it. But
Yep.
but yeah, you bring up a very good point, man. But I think um this World Cup, man, is gonna be interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
We're now at the point now, you know, we got our teams.
We got our teams. You got Spain that beat France 2-0 yesterday. I didn't see that coming. But I knew
Yeah.
I knew Spain was tough. I thought it was gonna be like 2-1 or something like either or. I'm not surprised that they won, but I'm surprised they won 2-0. So
I guess we'll bring Lou on into this.
bring Lou on this
Hey
this this
Lou.
World Cup.
Yo.
Hey Lou, what's going on, Lou?
Yeah, well, I got half the matchup I want, but not the other half.
Yeah. So what you get? What you got? Spain, right?
I want Argentina and Portugal, to be honest with you.
Okay, got you, got you,
Mm-hmm.
got you,
Yeah,
got you.
I mean, not for the, but I really want to see a Ronaldo Messi final.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was hoping.
Well, that would have been nice, Lou. I agree with you. At least you got
That
one,
would have
right?
been a heavyweight fight.
Mm.
Close to it.
At least we got one. We got Messi because we know this is it for him. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
20 years old, yeah.
yeah. So agreed. Spain's got defense. I mean, we talked about it. Yes, I sent you a text yesterday, Hova, about defense. Regardless of the sport, baseball, basketball, football, soccer. If you got championship defense, that clears a pathway for you to make it to a championship. You just need enough offense to just kind of get you through. And so
I,
Spain, that's
yeah,
that's Spain. Spain's got the best defense. They've only given up maybe one goal, if that,
yeah,
of
Yep.
the entire freaking tournament, 36 straight. I mean, these guys are hot. you know, they-
yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you though, England, Argentina. It was a good match. I think
yeah,
I
Argentina,
mean, when they
they,
had,
they figured out a way like they always do at the last minute.
last minute.
David
yep.
Beckham was pretty pissed, but
oh
yeah, man, they put
That
the
was Mick
camera on.
Jagger.
They put the camera on him, man. He looked like he was ready to cut somebody out. But
man, he was hot. He wanted to
That
suit up.
was Mick Jagger.
He was ready to suit up, man. Give me my cleats. Cleats.
yeah, he definitely wasn't a happy camper there.
No, he was not. No, he was not, man. I mean, look. I mean, England did their best. They played their best game. They played their best game. They made now. I think that the strategy was a little off in the second half. I think, I think they stayed in the defensive box too long because I think they were afraid.
I think I
And
think
instead
I
of pressing
think
the issue.
I think you got to put some blame on the coach. I think the
Yeah,
coach
yeah.
didn't and he didn't coach that right.
No, England should have pressed more. They
Yeah,
should have pressed more. They should have tried. If they score, they score. But you got to put the pressure on. And so,
they should have
uh,
continued to press like they started out in the
exactly.
game.
Exactly. Continue to press, but they got in a conservative defensive mode, and they do what they do, man. They just ate them up, man. They ate them up, and by the time they tried to press, it was too late. So yeah, man. Look, that's gonna be a
Yeah.
good game between Spain and Argentina, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, Lionel Messi, the networks are loving it. The U.S. the network is gonna be in New York, and so everybody's gonna love it, and they're gonna eat it up, man, and they're gonna sell this thing. The interesting thing about World Cup is not only do you have that, but you got the game that neither one of them teams want to play in, and that's the constellation game for
Yeah.
third place, and so you got France and England, and so I don't, nobody wants to lose that game. Nobody wants to play in it, but even worse, nobody wants to lose that game. So,
Yeah.
you kind of hope that, that you get an exciting game. What is it? It's on Saturday, right? Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday.
Sunday.
Sa-
So,
Sorry, sir,
Saturday.
please. Sunday for the championship.
right.
Right.
There we go. There we go. There we go. So yeah, third place, man. We'll see. I'll be watching, but you still have the golden boot that's out there. That still counts for the golden boot. So you still have the competition between Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe, and those two guys. And I think that no, I think Kane may be 2 or 3 goals off, maybe more than that. But
Yeah. It's between
but
Bob
Holland
Mbappe and
and Messi,
Messi. Yeah. I think Mbappe's gonna get it.
yeah, I think Mbappe is gonna want to make up for that. I mean, hey,
Oh no.
look, I mean, look, man, Spain got the best defense, bar none, man. I mean, what are you gonna do? I don't know what France could have done in that game. I don't. I'm watching. I'm listening to strategies. I don't know what they could have done. Shoot. I mean, they tried to do what they could. They tried. I mean, but Spain is just good, man. When you got a good defense and guys
Yeah.
are athletic and the spacing was perfect, it's like I don't know what you can do. They tried the one-on-one, that didn't work. Tried putting some plays together, that didn't work. So I don't know, Hov. I think we're gonna have a good one between Spain and Argentina, man. I'm looking forward to that one, even though I did 2 brackets, and so one of my brackets, I'm like half and half in those brackets, but my Spain bracket, I think I did pretty good in my Spain bracket. What I chose, that's like, man, I didn't know I chose those teams, and that
Mhm.
that bracket looked better than the one I have for France. Know how that happened. But at any
Yeah.
rate, man, we will be watching and we'll cover that next week in terms of wrapping that up and wrapping up FIFA because we're definitely having a good time in Atlanta with
Yeah.
FIFA. Look, guys, it's All Star Week, Lou. Home Run Derby, Lou. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Well, most part, I just like how the format was changing and stuff. But I liked how it was. I came out to the end in a real slugfest. Unfortunately, the hometown favorite didn't win, and that pissed off a lot of fans. Mm.
I thought it was funny. I was cracking up, man. I was out here cracking up like, ooh, Philly's
Yeah,
giving it to him, man. But I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it myself.
yeah,
Uh,
I enjoyed the
uh,
home run derby.
yeah, Homer, did you like it? Did you watch it? Number one, did you watch it? Let's cover the basics first.
Well, at first I thought it was going to be on regular TV. I realized it was on Netflix. So,
That part, that part.
Oh, I found
uh,
a way.
so that kind of
Yeah.
spoiled my plans. So no, I didn't get a chance to watch it. But blame that on
I,
Netflix. I don't know.
Oh,
Netflix
damn!
wasn't
Wow,
going. Yeah, so
wow,
I know, right?
wow,
Um,
wow,
I found someone to fix that.
wow.
yeah,
Well,
but
I go ahead,
yeah,
Homer.
no, but I'm happy for the winner. The person
Yeah.
that won. So
Yeah, well, look, man, I watched it last night. I watched most of it. I watched like the first part. I was dipsy doing flip channel somewhere. Then I came back to it around close to the end, till the end. I enjoyed it, man. Like the format of it. It was good, man. It was suspenseful at the end. It really was. Like Lou said, man, it's like, look. Home. They thought the home guy was going to win it. I thought he was going to win it, but they did not. The good. Look, I did a quick good, bad, and ugly. The good part of it, man, was the format. I like the way they changed the format to it. It just worked. Um, and I look, Elle Duncan, man. Elle Duncan is she's an Atlanta person. I miss her on ESPN because she kind of brought a lot of
Yeah.
balance to the network. She was very fresh, kind of need I say Stu Scott kind of fresh. We haven't seen that freshness since Stu. But she moved on to the event. I thought she was very rehearsed and she was excellent with Barry Bonds and the whole crew that was there on the couch and everybody. So I thought that was a good part of it. The event itself was good. The bad, it was on Netflix. Over, I agree. Uh,
Uh,
if you didn't tell me, I would have been like, man, I got to Google it. I mean, why
Yeah,
I have to Google, you know? And so
yeah.
I would have preferred that it was on, a more traditional media form than Netflix. But I
But
guess
it's,
Netflix is becoming the norm, I guess. I don't for
I mean,
sports.
but that's the thing now. I mean, I agree with you. I think Netflix is becoming the norm for sports outside of Prime.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I have Prime.
and if you don't
yep,
have though, if you don't have a subscription, you're gonna be missing out.
yeah.
Raw.
That's kind of where we are. I'm I'm hate to say I'm the get off my lawn guy now, but but I will say the ugly, the good, bad, and the ugly. The ugly of it for me, it's really not ugly. It's really funny to me. But I mean, Philly fans booing the
Yeah.
opponents of their guys. That's Philly. Nobody does that but Philly. Nobody. Nobody. It can be anywhere. LA, Atlanta, New York. Nobody does that but
Yeah.
Philly. So right, nobody can really be casual and say it don't matter when when a Philly team is involved. You got to go for the other team. And it's funny because I saw a short of a Philly
That was
fan taking it, and he was just kind of like he was devastated. But look, congratulations to Jordan Walker,
yes.
out from the St. Louis Cardinals, man. He's from right here in
First
Atlanta.
Cardinal win too.
Yes, sir. And we had no idea. He's from right
I
here in
was
Atlanta, Lou.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, he's from Atlanta, Georgia. He went to Decatur High School. My grandboy just
I
finished
was
Decatur
not aware it
High.
was the first Cardinal. I was not aware it was the first Cardinal to win
Yes.
the Derby. And
He,
if you think Netflix is the only way you can watch the game without think again because I found another way. Yeah.
oh, ooh.
I know something they don't know.
Oh, oh.
I
Aren't
found
they
another
streaming?
site where I
I
found
think
another
you.
site I can stream. I can watch it, and they don't
I
know
think you.
about it.
I think you told me about that a few years back, Lou.
No, 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 no. That one got booted out. So
Mm.
I found another one called
Okay, we'll
Strikeouts.
talk. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, the TV app got
so,
busted. So
so
luckily I found another
So
site
yeah,
called.
so Lou got a back door.
Lou got a
Yep,
back
I
door,
found a
man.
back door. Ah,
Lou got. So look, man,
I'll
real
start
quick,
them again.
real quick, guys. And I think I'm gonna wrap the home run derby up real quick. But I think if we don't remember anything else about Jordan Walker winning that, he was just made a comment and said that he hopes that inspires kids, but especially black kids like him, because there's just not very many African Americans in the sport as it used to be back in the day. And so we talk about soccer and trying to get people and different people, and it's really an economic thing for soccer. And it's baseball too. I agree. You're losing a lot of urban kids and you're losing a lot of rural
Yeah,
kids because you don't have the money, you don't have the financing, and so and that's a problem. And so you want to make sure that sports is not exclusive but inclusive. That's how you can be the best that you can be. So I think that that's very synonymous in terms of what we're talking about with soccer also. But I would give a final grade for home run derby an A. I loved it, man. What would be your grade for home run derby, Lou?
I would give it a B.
Yeah, I loved it,
Yeah.
man. Look, man, All Star game. Did you watch it, Lou?
Yes, and
All
happy for
of
the
it?
American League.
Okay,
Mhm.
American League. American League. I'm sorry, I got it wrong here, Hobo. But the American League beats the National League 4-0.
Where's that?
So look, man, I watched. I was in and out of it. It was, I don't know, it's kind of boring to me a little bit in certain part because the pictures were just on it, man. But I tell you what was really good for me, Lou. No, let me put it in your part first, then I'll say mine. What did you like? No, obviously, Hova didn't watch it. So, did you watch it, Hova? I'm just asking, just
A-
in case you. Did you?
Actually, actually, I did watch a little bit of it. I
Okay,
did
okay,
watch a little bit
good,
of it.
good. So let me start with Lou. Lou, uh, what did you like about it the most?
Well, basically, we had the AL beat up on the NL. Also, with the
Okay.
tributes to the 250 anniversary of our country, they're paying tribute to that as well. So, I thought it was, very, very well produced and whatnot. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep, yep. And that's kind of how I felt about the Home Run Derby on Netflix. I thought the production was awesome, man. All except for when they brought Will Ferrell out there. I didn't like that part, but uh,
Yeah, it wasn't, that
it,
wasn't this.
that was ugly. It was a bad, ugly part. But outside of that, I thought it was great, man. But the production of the actual All Star game, I thought was pretty good. Lou, what I liked the most was that the pitcher and the catcher were mic'd up, man. I thought it was cool, man. I like that
It could have been
perspective.
worse. It could have been worse. You could have brought in Jason Sudeikis. Oh, no.
No, no, don't
Okay.
do that. Don't do that. So,
So, yeah, I told you it gets worse.
but I like I like the idea of it because of that's what they're talking about. It's like usually they're just giving signals, but with that to make it interactive so people can really kind of hear what's going on and what's going through the mind and the communication between the coordination between the pitcher and the catcher. Yeah, man, let's give them a slider down low. Yeah, let's give naming the pitches, let's give this, give him that, up high, in tight, all that kind of stuff, and communicating to see if the pitcher can actually deliver what he's telling him. Being that they don't really work together in the norm, but I loved it, man. I
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I like that part about it, man. The bad for me, what was anything bad for you, Hov and Lou, in terms of All Star game?
Mm, they could have slowed the pace. They
Mm,
could have slowed the pace a little bit. I thought the pace was a little bit too slow, especially in the beginning.
Hmm.
yeah, I
Hmm.
have to agree with Lou on that. The pace of it.
I,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think definitely
I
the
agree, man.
pace.
Yeah, I said the game, but that's what I was trying to say. I think we're all saying the same. It's funny, we're all saying the same thing. That the pace of it was just, I mean, it's like paint drying, man. It was just Jesus.
Yeah.
Come on, get with
but
it,
still,
guys.
Curry, that is a sport too.
Yeah, yeah, really.
Watching paint dry, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, look,
I
man.
think it's, I think it's popular in Europe though.
Real, real quick. The
Sorry.
ugly part of it for me was, I'm just gonna call it, man. I don't mean no disrespect, but Patti LaBelle doing the national anthem. I've always been a fan of hers in the past, but I know that she's older now, and
Who
I
was
get
that?
that. Patti LaBelle, she sang,
Oh,
was
that
it
was Patrick LaBelle.
Yeah, that was Patti LaBelle that messed up the
I didn't
national
recognize
anthem. Yeah, man. So she was singing with the who was it? The military national
her. Yeah,
somebody. And so I prefer just hearing them. But she was doing a lot of, I don't know, it was just not good. I've been a fan of hers in the past. I just didn't
yeah.
like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I don't, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was like Roseanne Barr. She didn't disrespect it. I wouldn't say that. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was just, and I was feeling for her because it felt like she was struggling and she was
Could have been
trying to
worse. Could have
kind
been Carl Lewis.
of, oh, no, you're right.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
the
you.
worst.
But that
You're
That
right,
is
Lou.
the
That's the
worst.
but
worst.
but the
You're
thing
right.
about
I
it,
saw her
yeah,
act.
I
Oh,
think yeah, and I think to that point, Patty, I don't know how old Patty is, but you know,
76.
76
Okay.
years old.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
uh, all I can say to that is it's not gonna be the Patty of back in
Right. Right.
singing Lady Marmalade. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
mean,
You're right.
Ah,
Yeah.
You know, this
Hey,
this
Yeah.
gonna
Lou.
this is an old, and I'm not trying to
Right,
poo poo on it, but it's an old
right,
Patty. You know,
Well,
right,
maybe
and
she would have been
so
on her own.
is she gonna always put, one thing you're gonna get with Patty, I heard one thing what you're gonna get with Patty, she gonna always put her flavor to it.
right,
I mean, she could be
right,
singing about Kool-Aid. She gonna put a
right.
flavor, she gonna put a
That's
flavor
true.
on it.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
you
That's
can't
true.
really give it the ugly because that's just Patty being Patty. But I get what
Yeah,
you're saying, Brad.
Yeah, she
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to add,
Normally, I would say if this was 20 years ago, she would have pulled that off.
Oh, well, no doubt,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's
Right.
what
It
I'm
was
saying.
20 years.
It's an
Yeah,
old,
20 years.
yeah.
Oh, and again, it goes back to how we started the show, Hova, talking about T.I. And you got to know when to say when.
You bring up a good point. Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
know when to say when, and I get it. And she's in
okay, some
Philly.
people, maybe we're just looking for a new attitude.
Look.
See,
Yeah.
look, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
But look, I understand the why because she's from Philly, born and raised. She's from Philadelphia, and they want
Yeah.
the home. And she probably said no, but they like Patty, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And she's like, no, 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 no. But when it's at home, this is once a lifetime. Blah blah blah. She's like she probably was reluctant to say yes, and so she probably did the best. She did the best she could. But any rate, guys, what grade would you guys give the All Star game?
Gotta give it a B.
Mm. What would you give a Hobel?
I give it a C.
Yeah, I give it a
Ooh.
C. Yeah, I give it a C, man. It's just the pace. Pace was just Jesus,
Yeah.
man. It was just they lost me, man. Eighth inning, man. I was just pretty much almost tuned out, man. I said I'm going to get it one more inning. When is this thing gonna be over? So I've seen better All Star games, but sometimes it just is what it is, guys. Because we had a lot of injuries to a lot of major players that were supposed to be there. So it really wasn't star studded. And unless you watch all these other teams, I don't watch American League at all unless the Braves are playing them. And so a lot of the guys, I don't know, I had to Google them, man. Because I don't, I don't watch Kansas City all the time. I just don't. So that's just kind of where we are, and that's that baseball thing again, and so baseball is hanging in there, but you know they can do a better job. But I will say that
Yes.
the All Star game is better than NFL's All Star weekend. And that's not hard to do. NFL's Pro Bowl, All Star, whatever they call that stuff nowadays, flag football or something,
Yeah.
whatever they call it. But at any rate, guys, what I want to do, we're on time tonight, so we're gonna wrap it on up. And hope unless you want to flip through this NFL, you want to flip it to next week, because we can flip it to next week.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move it to next week.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Because I don't want to race through it. So next
Hmm.
week, they talked about top 10 quarterbacks in 26 from execs and coaches, and so we're gonna talk about that next week. And I got some ages, and we're gonna have a little twist on that. We're also gonna have SEC talk, SEC football talk next week. Also because it's SEC week, and that's a big thing down south. In terms of the coaches' interviews and what's going on. And just a quick note before we end the show, I think ACC week is this week, football week. And they definitely, the good news is that for them is that they're going to have different tiebreakers to determine their participants in that ACC championship. So never again do you want to have 75 teams, five and whatever it was, 5 and 7, 75 playing inside of an ACC tournament to determine who's going to go and represent your conference in the playoffs, in the college playoffs. You don't want to do that. So they got a better thing to work that out. I'm happy for them. Not gonna make a difference, but unless it's maybe Miami, but good luck with that. Anything else, Hova?
No, I think that's all I have. I guess we can go ahead and let Lou go ahead and close it on out.
Take us home, Luke.
All right. And sports show Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Number is 512-543-4662. Well, we're gonna recap All-Star Week as well. Also recap the men's Wimbledon final, as well as the MLB draft. No, I can't do all 725 rounds, but I'll do what I can. So okay, I know it's a little exaggeration, but you get the idea. Also take care of the British Open tournament. The Open Golf Tournament. Sorry.
Yep.
Of course, the World Cup final. Spain, Argentina.
Yes, sir.
And I'll also recap the ESPYs as well, which is going on as we speak.
Yep.
All right.
Along with the regular features, the ridiculous out of the week, sports trivia, this day in sports history. Your thoughts and comments are always welcome. So don't forget to like and share the page, and we're on Facebook Live. And remember, it's 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, Lou.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Luke.
it. All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining the Bread and Homer Show. Till next week. Speak on it.